In the North Pacific Ocean, a group of researchers arrives to study the Great Pacific Garbage Patch and how it affects marine life. While filming a video, they are interrupted by a signal from a shark they have been tracking for a year. The shark is approaching very quickly, so 4 divers suit up and enter the water. After searching for some time, they discover the corpse of a small whale trapped in nets. This is the second one found in just 3 weeks. Upon closer inspection, they notice its stomach is full of plastic and has a bite mark. Suddenly, a shark appears and swims next to Chris, but it does not harm him. Chris realizes this is not the shark they were tracking, which means more sharks are coming. His theory is correct. Soon they are surrounded by sharks that seem agitated. Chris's wife, Sophia, is monitoring everything on camera and notices that all these sharks are female and very large. After a few seconds, the shark they were tracking finally appears. They call her Lilith, and the team is shocked to see that she is now 7 meters long, while 3 months ago she was only 2.5 meters. Chris believes this is very dangerous and says they should leave, but Sophia asks him to get a blood sample. A frightened Chris tries to pierce Lilith's skin, causing her to swim away angrily. The divers decide it is time to leave. However, Lilith starts swimming around them very quickly. Sophia loses the camera and can only hear how her husband and his team are killed by the enraged monster. Then, desperate, Sophia grabs a harpoon and jumps into the water, only to find Chris's arm floating in front of her. She continues searching, and soon Lilith appears before her. At first, the shark swims calmly, but suddenly attacks Sophia, who fires her harpoon. Lilith becomes enraged and swims away, but Sophia gets tangled in the fishing net caught on Lilith's fins and is dragged into the depths of the ocean. As the pressure damages her ears, Sophia pulls out a knife to cut the net. Now she can swim back to the surface. 3 years later in Paris, 2 men are magnet fishing in the river when they suddenly find a bomb. The police and press soon arrive, but fortunately the bomb is no longer active. Officer Hotel tells reporters that finding old World War II shells in the river is very common, but they have not caused any problems so far. Meanwhile, Sophia works at the aquarium. She tries to tell a group of children about the importance of saving marine life, but they only mock her for losing her entire team in a shark attack. Sophia sinks into guilt and leaves the aquarium in great distress. At that moment, Mika approaches her and mentions Lilith's tracker. Mika then takes Sophia to SOS, the ocean conservation group. Every member is a big fan of Sophia's work and has been using her research to protect sharks. Sophia meets Mika's friend, Ben, who uses her computer to track Lilith's beacon. Sophia, confused, says this is impossible because her servers are secure, but Ben explains that nowadays you can access everything, and Lilith has been in the same river in Paris for the past 3 days. Sharks should not live in fresh water. This proves that climate change and pollution can alter their behavior. Ma believes Lilith is lost and trying to survive, so she will dive tonight to try to communicate with her, hoping to help her return to the sea. Another incident occurs on the bridge where a car fell into the water and the driver is still missing. Mika wants Sophia to come with her, but Sophia thinks this is a silly idea and leaves. At home, Sophia cannot stop thinking about Lilith, so she takes out her old investigation gear and cries while watching videos of Chris and her team. When Lilith appears in the footage, Sophia has a nervous breakdown and finally opens the beacon tracker, confirming Mika's story is true. That night, Mika and Ben sail on the river until they reach the bridge. Mika jumps into the water and finds it hard to see due to pollution. When she comes across the car, she notices multiple bite marks. On the surface, Ben hears the police approaching and pulls the rope to warn his mother. However, Mika wants to continue investigating, so she cuts the rope. At that moment, Mika sees something huge swimming near the car. But when she searches the area with her flashlight, she sees nothing. When she hears the sound of police sirens above, she decides to return to the surface. Ben has already escaped, so only Mika is caught. On the police boat, Mika tells Adele that she was cleaning the river, but he does not believe her. On the way to the station, the police stop to remind some homeless people that the city wants to clear the area for the triathlon contest. By the time Sophia arrives at the bridge, everyone has gone, but her tracker still detects Lilith in the area. She follows the beacon and finds the homeless camp, but it is empty except for their dog. The little dog keeps looking at the river and growling. In the dark, they do not see the shark fin under the bridge. The next morning, Hotel continues to interrogate Mika until she tells him about the shark. Hotel does not believe her, but is interrupted by another officer when he mentions an emergency. Near the river, Sophia is still tracking Lilith and notices she is close, so she warns a child to stay away from the water. At that moment, she receives a call from the police and is taken to see Hotel and Mika, who were also near the river. It turns out they found the body of a murdered homeless man. Upon seeing the injuries, Sophia confirms that a shark did this. They take this information to Chief O'Neill, who does not believe there is a shark in the river and wants proof first. Otel and his team decide to go diving for evidence, and Sophia goes with them to guide them using her tracker. 3 officers jump into the water and find a huge dead fish with large bite marks. Mika has been following the group on land and thinks they will kill the shark. So she calls Ben and asks her to hack the beacon to disable it. Ben succeeds, and soon Sophia and the police lose the signal. Underwater, the officers see something swimming in the darkness around them. Otel notices the rope is tense, so he and Sophia immediately start pulling to help the crew return to the boat. The divers explain that they saw something big down there and they should check the sonar, which confirms Lilith is in the river. He now believes Sophia turned off the beacon and blames her for endangering the team. In danger. When her nose started bleeding, Sophia left the boat and saw Mika nearby. She followed her to the office and they argued about what happened. Mika insisted that sharks do not attack without reason, and that what happened to Chris was Sophia's fault. This upset Sophia and made her leave. At the police station, Adele told O'Neill that they had to close the river area, which would require canceling the Olympic triathlon competition. O'Neill was worried about the mayor's reaction. Adele searched for Sophia online and found her speech about climate change. He also discovered what happened to Chris and her team. This made him think about all the friends he lost during the war when he was in the army. Meanwhile, Mika broadcasted on social media to tell the world about the shark in the river. She explained that Lilith's behavior was affected by climate change, and she does not deserve to die, so they must work together to save her. After seeing the video, Sophia tried to check the lighthouse, but it was still not working. On her way out of work, Otel approached Sophia and apologized for the rough start. He also asked her to attend the meeting with the mayor. In the mayor's office in Jill, Otel and Sophia tried to explain how dangerous the situation was, but the mayor had already spent a lot of money and refused to look bad in front of the press. So she refused to cancel anything and ordered the police to deal with the shark before the event began. Afterwards, Sophia told the officers that their best chance was to lure Lilith to the bridges and sedate her. Then they could capture her, and the Ocean Science Institute would take over. Sophia showed them a video explaining that once Lilith was sedated, they would only have a few minutes to prepare her. Otherwise, she would suffocate. At that moment, Ben arrived and told them that Lilith was in the catacombs near the sewage tanks. She also revealed that she came here without telling Mika, who believes Lilith can be guided using sonar. Ben reactivated the tracker on Sophia's computer and showed them an old access tunnel under the canal that connects the river to the catacombs. Sophia and the police officers used the boat to reach the old access tunnel, but they had to continue on foot because it was too narrow. The activists were already there, and Ben tried to convince Mika not to dive, but to no avail. Mika jumped into the water with the sonar before the police arrived to drive everyone out, but Mika refused to give up and asked everyone to stay. At that moment, a large fin appeared in the water and began circling Mika. To everyone's shock, a second fin soon joined them. Judging by the size, it seemed Lilith had given birth. The young shark approached Mika and nuzzled her like a dog, ignoring Sophia's warnings. Suddenly, the fins disappeared and Sophia thought they were about to attack. However, Mika still refused to move. Adele jumped into the water and tried to pull Mika out, but she bit his arm and swam away. Then Lilith jumped out of the water and ate Mika in a single bite. The size of the shark caused a huge wave that made many people fall into the water. To Sophia's surprise, Lilith bit her own child to kill it, perhaps because of the human scent. With the help of another officer, Otel got out of the water and guided the police to lead the crowd out of the tunnel. However, people kept slipping and falling, so Lilith killed every person she could. Ben was accidentally pushed into the water and Otel tried to get her out, but someone else pushed her down while trying to escape, and Ben ended up dying too. Many activists managed to save their lost limbs, and an angry man fired at her, but all his shots missed. When an officer tried to help, the panicked victims accidentally dragged him into the water. His partners tried to pull him out, but Lilith was stronger and soon pulled him back again to eat him. In the tunnel, the crowd piled up and many people ended up drowning while other victims walked over them. After a while, the doctors and nurses became extremely exhausted as all the victims were transferred to the hospital. Sophia blamed herself for what happened, but Otel assured her she did what she could. The body of the young shark was recovered from the water, and Sophia got a chance to study it in the lab. She noticed all the mutations that confirmed it was adapting to live in fresh water. Sophia also confirmed that the baby was female and when she cut open its belly, she found many other babies. This made no sense because this shark was only a month old. She concluded that the mutations allowed Lilith and her offspring to reproduce by parthenogenesis, a process that allows a baby to grow from an egg without fertilization. This means Lilith is the first of a new kind, and if she is not eliminated, she will keep making more like herself. The next time the team met with the mayor, she complained about the 12 deaths. A man from the army said they should have reported this, and they explained they warned the mayor, but she claimed they did not tell her enough. Sophia wanted her to tell the truth to the press and cancel the event, but the mayor fired her and told her team to stay silent about this. In the afternoon, when the mayor appeared on television, she said the stories about sharks and the river were lies and that the triathlon would be held anyway. In a bar, Sophia was frustrated by the situation. Sophia asked why he left the army. So he explained that during a rescue mission, he panicked and left his teammates to die. He did not want to be a coward again, so Sophia shared an idea with him. It would be off the books, but some officers agreed to help anyway. With the help of 2 bomb experts, they would search for the nest in the tomb and blow it up. They would have to move quickly because they would only have 3 minutes to swim away before the bomb hit the tomb. After some time, the area near the river became crowded with tourists for the event, and many soldiers were sent to monitor the waters. 2 officers were supposed to provide support from the boat, but the soldiers did not allow them to sail near the tomb because the river was closed. Since Anil was part of the mayor's security team, she asked the soldiers to let her people through, pretending they were part of the operation too. Meanwhile, Otel and Sophia dived into the water and searched for the nest. When they lit a flare, they discovered dozens of young sharks above them. One of the sharks swam towards them, but they moved out of the way to avoid it. On the surface, the mayor started the event, and all the competitors jumped into the water to participate in the swimming competition, while the bomb experts. By setting up the explosives, Sophia prepares a sonar device to attract Lilith, but she doesn't appear. Suddenly, small sharks attack one of the bomb experts, killing him within seconds and causing him to drop the detonator. Sophia tells the others to stay together and not to move, but the other expert decides to swim forward to retrieve the detonator. Immediately after he presses the button, he's surrounded by sharks and eaten as well. With only 3 minutes left to escape, Sophia grabs Otel and activates the propeller to swim away. The bomb explodes behind them, killing all the small sharks. The police officers on the boat see the wave of water and head toward it. They are relieved to see Sophia and Otel return alive, although Otel is injured. While the officers tend to Otel, Sophia jumps back in and is surprised by Lilith, who was not affected by the explosion. Sophia immediately returns to the surface and tries to warn the others, but Lilith strikes the boat and sends it flying into the air. All the police officers fall into the water and Lilith proceeds to eat them one by one, except for Otel, who reunites with Sophia, and together they climb to the top of the boat. After that, Lilith approaches the swimmers and starts killing them as well. The river turns red in the process. The crowd does not notice until Lilith jumps out with a swimmer in her mouth. The competitors swim away as fast as possible while the military boats open fire, but Lilith's mutation makes her so fast that she can evade them all. Jill and Otel try to tell them to stop because the river is full of old bombs. However, they are not heard. As the crowd panics and flees, another police officer appears in a new boat to finally rescue Otel and Sophia. Soldiers run to the bridge to continue firing, and as expected, they end up hitting a bomb. This bomb explodes and causes only a small burst of water, but it sets off a chain reaction that makes other bombs explode as well. The resulting explosion is so big that it causes 2 bridges to collapse, and even the sewer openings in the street lose their covers. As the crowd keeps running, they accidentally push more people into the water. This explosion also causes a massive tsunami wave that rises above the river and quickly floods the city. Several people, including the mayor, fall into the river and are not seen again. Sophia swims quickly to save Otel and pulls him to the top of the submerged building. When they look around, they discover they are surrounded by sharks. Thanks to the river connecting to many other water sources, Lilith and her offspring spread throughout the world and began terrorizing all major cities. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thank you for watching.